What is going on, guys? Today, I'm going to show you how to turn yourself into a MetaHuman. Let's get into it. To start us out tonight, I want to talk to you guys about a couple things. This will be a completely free workflow. I'll be using Blender, Unreal Engine, and Photoshop. And the reason I'm bringing that up is obviously Photoshop is not free, but you are not required to use Photoshop. You can use any photo editing software you want, any free alternative. There's GIMP and a few other ones I can't think of off the top of my head right now. The reason I am using Photoshop is it's because the one I know how to use and it's the one I already own. I just don't want you to feel obligated that you need that in order to do this. Inside Photoshop, I'm just going to be doing some masking of things and a little bit of color blending so they match together. And that is it. So it's nothing too intense. An alternative that's free couldn't do. In addition to that, I want to talk to you guys about what this video actually is. I am showing you how to make yourself a MetaHuman. I'm not showing you how to make custom hair, how to use custom clothes, or how to get it uploaded to use as an avatar to stream similar to how you've seen in the intro. Although I will make videos on all those things if you guys want, just let me know. And I fully plan to. If I added them all to one video, this video would be crazy long. So today, we got to get our building blocks and the basics down before we can start running. Long term, I really want to use this avatar to do a bunch of cool effects because it's built inside Unreal Engine. So that way we can use it like any game engine product. So your avatar on your live streams could, let's say you get a donation, a character could join and cut its arm off or something crazy. You could cast fireballs. There'd be a bunch of crazy things. Anything that could happen in a game engine, you could do. But first, we have to get the building blocks down. Okay. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into it. The first thing I need you guys to do is I need you to take 5 photos of yourself on your cell phone or whatever device you have. Lighting matters a lot for this, so make sure you have pretty good lighting. For me, I'm using overhead lights and I have one umbrella light. There are shadows on my face, as you can see when I move, but I tried to eliminate the best I can, and you should too. Even lighting is important. You don't need a fancy lighting setup. You could simply step next to a window by this where the sun is to get an even lighting. That would work as well. It's not going to make or break anything, but it will make a better product. The 5 photos you need are the ones you can see here. You need one front-facing photo, 2 side 45 angle photos, and 2 90-degree angle photos. You're welcome to take additional ones if you want from like a higher up angle at a 45 and a lower angle so you can include the chin and up top, and it'll give you a more accurate model later on. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm only going to be using 5 myself. These are the 5 I'll be using. Once you get those, you're going to go ahead and you're going to go on to Keentools.io and you're going to download the plugin for Blender. Now, I'll give you guys a link below to this website, of course. And once you get here, you're going to go to downloads and you're going to download the Blender pack simply by clicking that and clicking download. Once it downloads, it'll give you a zip file. Go ahead and leave this file zipped. You don't want to unzip it. Blender likes zip files. I do want to note one thing. Keentools downloads as a free trial for the first 15 days. So if you start this process and take a break and come back on day 16, it's no longer a free process. Keentools is going to expect you to pay them. So just to give you a heads up, you kind of have a 15-day window to get this thing off the ground and running. All right. So, okay, with that downloaded, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open Blender. Today, I'm going to be using Blender 5.0. If you're trying to follow along, that way there's no discrepancies. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all the objects inside my scene by hitting the A key and then delete key to delete them all. From there, I need to install the plugin. So go up to the edit menu, down to preferences. In preferences, click on get extensions on your left menu here. And then all the way over on the right side, you will see a little arrow. Click that drop down arrow and install from disk. Once you click install from disk, navigate to wherever you downloaded it. For me, it's my download files. And instead of searching all this, I'm actually going to take that second drop down right here and I'm going to uncheck folders and it's going to show these icons. These are all zip folders in my downloads file. And the one I'm looking for is right here, Keentools. So I'm going to double click that. And that is it. As you can see, it added a right here, Keentools extension. And if I go to add-ons, it is right here as well, Keentools, means it is installed and good to go. I'm simply going to exit this window now, and then I'm going to hit the N key, N as in name, and you will get this side menu here. Your side menu is going to look different than mine because these are all different add-ons I have. You probably don't have them. Don't worry, we're only using one of them, and it's the one you just downloaded, and that is going to be Face Builder right here. So when you click on Face Builder, you will see you get this small window right here on the right side where it says Install Core Library. Go ahead and click Install Core Library for me, and it's going to ask you right here to agree. You click I agree and click Install Online, and it'll download your install, and when it's 100%, your screen will switch like that, and you are good to go. Go ahead and click exit. Once you exit, you can now see you have a different menu right here and it'll say trial 15 days. Mine says trial 11 days because I only have 11 days left in this trial and I wanted you to see that to show you I too am using the free version. This works fine with that. From there, you're going to click create new head. When you click create new head, you're going to get a generic head generated in the middle of your Blender world. And I'm not going to really go over navigation or anything basic in Blender or in Unreal in this tutorial. And I just want to be clear about that real quick, because on most of my tutorials, I do. But this is a bigger project and it's gonna take more time. So I'm just gonna skip ahead. I'm sure you can figure out how to navigate. Once this head is inside your project, the next thing you're gonna do is add your images. So in order to do that, you're gonna click add images right here on the right side under view. Once you click add images, it's gonna ask you to go ahead and find wherever you saved them at. I put mine under a folder called 111. Yours are saved wherever you decided, but I would recommend finding a local area for all the things you're gonna need, because you're gonna continue to access it throughout this workflow. From here, I'm just gonna shift click and I'm gonna add images into here. And there they all are. All 5 of them got added on the right menu there. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and click on the first one here, and you can see it opens it up and it gives you this mesh over the front of your head. It wants you to line this mesh up, but we're not gonna do that manually. What we're gonna do is we're gonna click auto align, and it's gonna come pretty close to getting it right. Let me talk to you about how this mesh works. Essentially, there's these red dots that you can grab and drag around as needed to get it to fit your face, any spot that may be a little off. In addition to that, if they turn green and you don't want that dot anymore, you can click the delete key and it'll remove it completely. Also, if you have no dot, like say I just need to pull this out, I can simply click and drag and it'll add one of those dots. Now there's a dot there and a dot there. It's all pretty basic. I'm sure you can figure it out. And if you ever get lost, there is a little key here at the bottom that'll help you kind of figure it out along the way. The tab key removes it so you can kind of see where you actually need to be. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to get it exactly on your face the best you can. It's never going to be 100% perfect, but take your time when you do this. So for me, I can tell you right now, this nostril is off. So I'm going to grab this, I'm going to pull it up just like that so it fits a little bit better. Then I'm going to come into these eyes over here and just see how they're sitting. This one actually looks pretty good. This one is off. So we're just going to sit and we're going to pull that back a little bit, and we're going to pull this back a little bit too. And then finally, we're going to pull this down here. My eyebrows do also seem pretty far off, so we're going to simply drag and pull them here. And then finally, let's do the ear over here. And that's pretty much what's going to happen for each one of these photos. You're going to sit here and drag and figure out where it goes till it matches your face. Now, I'm going to skip ahead because this is going to take a few minutes, but you're going to do the same thing. And then you're going to go to the next photo and you're going to do assign again. And it's going to do the same exact thing over and over. And you're going to adjust them until they're all sitting on your face as they're supposed to be. It's very simple and straightforward. Once you feel you're good with them the first time through, I'll just auto assign them all so you can get an idea. Once you feel they're good with them the same time through, I recommend you go back to the first one and you double check them all again. The reason I say that is if I alter this one right now and pull this ear all the way over here and go back to the first one, it changes that first one as well. So you're making minor adjustments on each one from each angle till it's sitting correctly on you. Once you're done with that, I'll show you what comes next. Okay, so mine just finished, and just real quickly, as you can see, I added a lot more dots than there originally was. You can make it as accurate or inaccurate as you want. There's really no wrong way. If you wanted to look like yourself more, of course you want to be more accurate. If you don't mind, you can make it less accurate, right? So you can kind of see how mine went. I passed over, I think 2 or 3 times to get it where it is right now. And yeah, so we're done with that now. So what's gonna happen now is I'm gonna go down here where it says textures right here in this tab, and it's gonna be set to butterfly currently. And we're gonna take that down to MH. I don't know if MH stands for MetaHuman, but that's definitely what it works with. And from there, we're gonna check the cog right here next to the create texture button. And we're gonna change this from 2K up to 4K. And we're gonna do that by typing ×2 in each one of these categories, and it'll automatically multiply it up there. And just like that, click OK, and you're done. Now, if you have one of these photos here that you don't want to be a part of the generation of your 3D head model, you can just uncheck it and it'll remove it in case one doesn't quite match. That's what those are for. So click OK there, and we're simply gonna hit generate texture and go ahead and let it do its job here. And just like that, boom, there's our texture, and it looks pretty good. I don't see, there might be a little lighting issue right here for me, but other than that, we should be okay. Don't worry about this in the back. That's because there was no back pictures, and it doesn't matter because we're not gonna be using the back of it anyways. And finally, down here, my chin is gonna have to be fixed in Photoshop because I didn't take a photo of that angle, so can't see anything. Now, if I would have added 2 more photos, one from up here and one from down here, it would see the top of my head better and the bottom of my head better. You are welcome to do so. Today, we're gonna leave it, and I'm just gonna fix it with the clone tool. So that is gonna be good. We're gonna go ahead and move forward with this right here. So now that we have our texture made, and we're gonna go ahead and click export on the texture right here in this sub menu. And I'm gonna save mine in the same file we're already using, just so I can find it later on. And I'm just gonna click export right there. And then finally, after that, we're gonna go down to the actual export right here, and we're gonna export an FBX for games. Character Creator is for Character Creator 5. We are not using that workflow today. Maybe in a future video we'll use that. And same file, I'm going to save it just where I saved the other one, the FBX right here. And I'm going to name this Mobes because that's my name and that's who it is an FBX of. Just like that. We don't need to change anything over here. I'm just simply going to click export, and like that, I'm going to click exit this, and I will save the Blender file as well in case I have to come back and make any adjustments. But other than that, we are done in Blender, and I will see you over in Unreal. Okay, so today we're going to be using Unreal 5.6, not 5.7. And the reason is when I get inside the MetaHuman creator, there's slides to adjust your body and everything. And when I do it in 5.7, I run into this hitching issue. I'm not sure what's causing it, but it doesn't happen in 5.6. So that is what I'm going to be using. If for some reason there's a feature in 5.7 that you want in the future that is not available in 5.6, don't worry, you can migrate your project up to that and that'll work fine. No big deal there. So first thing I want you to do is after you have 5.6 downloaded, you're actually going to click the down arrow next to launch right here and go down to options. In options, I need you to check a MetaHuman Creator Core data right here and let that download. Click apply and it'll start downloading for you. That's going to let you actually use the MetaHuman stuff and put it inside your game. Once that's done, go ahead and click launch for me. There's going to be a splash screen that shows up. The first time you ever launch this, it's a little bit slower, but after it runs once, if you exit, do some other stuff, come back, it'll run faster. It's just like the first boot of the day. All right. From here, you're going to be met with this window right here. And on this one, I want you to go game, and under game, I want you to make a blank game. Okay. And in the blank game, we're actually going to switch to C++. Don't worry. There's going to be no coding involved in this. The reason I'm doing C++ is I couldn't package this out when I did a blueprint of it to use it as like an actual build package on another computer, but I was able to do it if I made it a C++ file. I'm not sure if that is an intended feature or if I was running an error, but I know it works this way, so we're going to do it this way. Click C++ for me, name your project whatever you want. I'm going to name mine MetaHuman vid. That way I know where mine is. And this is going to be the location where it's saved. Save as wherever you want. And simply click create, and I will see you when mine loads. All right, so mine just finished loading. Yours probably looks a little different than mine. This is just the layout I like. I have my outliner here on the left instead of on the right. You can just move these around by clicking and dragging if you're interested in changing yours to match mine or whatever it is. And this bottom right here, this is just a content drawer. You can bring yours up and down with control and space. I simply have mine docked, so it's here all the time. And that's really all I'm going to cover for simple features. Like I said, I'm going to skip a lot of that in this video. So what we need to do first is a little bit of setup. That's kind of how this works. So I need you to go up here to edit and go to plugins, and I need you to type in MetaHuman at the top, and you're going to get a list of things, and I need you to check them all for me. All right, and you're going to check them, and this one right here is going to say, do you want to do some stuff? Yes, you do. And then this one right here, okay, so they're all checked now. Now you're going to click restart. Once your system restarts, this is what you'll be met with. Go ahead and exit this window right here. We know our plugins are working, and then we just have a little bit more setup to do. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to go up to file right here, and I want you to go to new level, and you're going to create a basic level right here. Click create on for that, and it'll jump you to this screen right here. From there, I want you to go back to file, and I want you to save level as whatever you want this to be. I'm going to call mine MetaHuman as well. And that way I know what it is, and there it is saved right there in my content browser. I know it's there as well. Once that's done, I'm then going to go into the edit, and I'm going to go to project settings right here. Under project settings, I'm going to go maps and modes on the left, and I'm going to go ahead and type that in right here, MetaHuman, and I'm going to find it real quick. It's probably right there. Okay, and I'm going to do it one more time, MetaHuman. And what this does right here is it does a couple things. Run here, editor startup. If you exit this program and you go on to today and you open back up to continue, it'll load it onto this map. And the second one here is if you package it out and go to use it somewhere else, it'll load it on this map as well, and not the map you just saw a minute ago. So that's what this does right here. Cool. Go ahead and exit on those. Go back and edit one more time. This time, editor preferences. And this is just my personal preference. Right here it says asset editor open location default. We're going to change this to the second to last one, last docked window or main window. And that just makes it the things open as tabs up here at the top instead of just being crazy pop-ups all over your screen. Cool. And with that done, we are now ready to bring in our head we made in Blender. So in order to do that, I'm going to right click down here in the browser, go up to new folder, and I'm going to name this Blender FBX. You don't have to make these folders I'm making. You can make any ones you want. The reason I'm making it is just to keep it organized and easier for you guys to see. If I was doing this just myself, truly, I would probably just leave it messy. But in good conscience, I'm going to make it organized for you guys. So I'm going to double click to open that folder right there. And I'm going to bring up my content browser. And what I want is this folder, or this FBX right here. This is the one I saved and exported out of Blender. So I'm going to simply click and drag it down here. And when I do that, it's going to give me this screen right here. You don't have to click anything. Just simply click import. And it's going to import 3 different things. You're going to have a texture, a material, and a static mesh right here. This static mesh name, Mobes, is mine. You're going to need to know the name of that. So make sure you remember it. With that said, this is a good opportunity to bring this up at any point during this. If you see these stars right here, that means that item isn't saved. If Unreal's crashed right now, it's gone. And we're using a part of Unreal that does tend to crash when you're using it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click save right here in the corner. That didn't get rid of them. That's fine. Let's do this and click save all. Just remember periodically to save so you guys aren't going back and doing too much work. So cool. We have all those three in. Now I'm going to go back to the content folder and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make a MetaHuman identity. So what we're going to do is right here where it says MetaHuman, we're going to come down here and MetaHuman identity right here. It's going to ask you to rename it right away. I'm going to name mine MIH_Mobes. That way I know which identity is. And I'm going to simply double click to open that and you're going to be met with this screen right here. From here, we need to get that static mesh we just imported into this part of the system. In order to do that, we're going to go up to where it says create components, click on this from mesh, and you're going to search the name of it. Mine is called Mobes, and there it is right there. I'm going to simply click and let it load in. It's going to take a second to load. MetaHuman does have a little bit of load times. It's a pretty heavy system, and there it is right there. Cool. So mine is faced the wrong way. That's no big deal. I'm simply going to turn him by hitting E, and I'm just going to drag and turn him 90 degrees so he's facing towards me. The next thing I'm going to do is when it says lit right here, I'm going to come unlit so I can actually see what's going on. And finally, this like camera icon right there, field of view, I'm going to drop it down to 15, and then I'm going to zoom it out a little bit so I can get the full thing in view just like that. Now, we're ready to begin. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to promote this frame. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. And what this does is it locks it so I can't move around this little window anymore. And from there, I'm going to do add tracker markers, which are going to be right here. And again, these are simply going to be things you adjust as needed. So like I can see this one's on my nose. We're going to pull that one off a little bit. That one goes right there. My eyes do look okay. I'm going to right click in order to drag around in this scene in case you're wondering. These don't look too bad. Let's look at this side. This one, let's just click and drag that up just a little bit right there. Overall, they're not too bad. My eyebrows are definitely off. So we're just going to pull this one in and we're going to see if we can't click and drag this whole thing just around a little bit like that. That's probably good enough. This one isn't going to be perfect because I'm in a hurry, but you could take the time. Oh, let me fix that a little bit. You could take the time and try to make yours as perfect as possible. It's really up to you. Like I said, I'm making a video though, so it's not going to be totally perfect. Excellent. And then my mouth is a little off, to be honest with you, but I'm going to see if it works out anyway. And from there, I'm just going to move on. You can go through, you can see everything here, right? You can do brows, eyes, lips. You can do a lot of different things over here. Whatever you want to do, I'm okay with this. This is all I did in the one you saw of me, so I'm just going to simply move forward. Next thing I'm going to do is right here at the top, we're going to click MetaHuman Identity Solve. Go ahead and click that for me and let it process for a minute, and I'll see you when it's done. Okay, mine just finished. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click save right here. You may have this LiveLink here. That happens when you put one of the plugins in. I'm going to exit it for now because we don't need it right now, but we will be using that part later. All right. So back at my main screen right here, my main level, we have created this data right here off of this MetaHuman data. This is what we made, right? This is what it generated for us, and this is what it generated for us. Two things we definitely needed, which is awesome. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is now I'm ready to create the actual MetaHuman. I'm going to right click again. I'm going to go to MetaHuman and I'm going to go MetaHuman Creator. Now, well, first let me name it real quick. Oops, I didn't hit the right button. MetaHuman Mobes is what we'll name this one. Now, just so you guys know why this loads, I will say it's not going to look like me right away. All right. It's a process. We got to trust the process. Okay. So, okay, this is when it loads. You're going to be met with this. You're going to hit enable and it's going to ask you to restart after you enable. If it does, mine may not. There it is. You're going to go ahead and agree to do that. Click restart now. It's going to say, do you want to save? Of course we want to save, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so my restart just finished, and it's going to say, do you want to open these two things that were before? You can click yes or no. You're just going to have to manually open them if you don't click, or if you don't click yes. So I just clicked yes. I'll let it load itself and be like, wait, this is where we were at. It's not a big deal. Boom, there we go. We're back in the MetaHuman Creator. And like I was saying, it's not going to look like me right away, but you have to trust the process. So you can do this any way you like. I actually like to do it body first, and I like to, if you're not making yourself, your predetermined bodies, you can blend and do all that. I'm not going to really touch on this in this video because we're making ourselves, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go down to where it says model right here. And these are the sliders I was talking about that lag in 5.7 for me. And I'm going to change them a little bit because I'm a dude. Yeah, I want to be a dude. You know what I'm saying? So actually, oops, wrong way. I meant to go the other way with these, huh? There we go. And then I'm actually not a very big guy, so we're pretty skinny there, and I'm an average height or whatever. So cool. Something like that seems to be fine for me. Yeah, that's no big deal. We'll just leave it. Yeah, sure. Looks great. Looks like a normal guy. Okay, cool. So now with that done, the next thing I'm going to do is I actually like to get the skin on it, right? So I'm going to come down to materials right here, and you're going to see it flips over to the skin mode right here. If you want like skin, clay, or topology is what you're just looking at, you can just flip through them right here, okay? So with the skin selected, you're going to come over here and you're going to pick a skin tone that is close to yours. Now, this is actually more difficult than you'd think, or maybe it's me because I'm more tan in the summer because I'm Mexican than I am in the winter and I live in the north. It's a whole thing, right? So I'm just going to kind of pick one that would be in my normal skin color, which is somewhere right, honestly, in this area. And I'm just going to go with that. Hopefully it works well. If you're not sure and you want to adjust the lighting, you can pick something else in here and it'll keep turning the lighting around so you get a better idea of what you're looking at. Also, what you're going to do in this is right here where it says face texture index, there's a lot of them, okay? There's 152. I'm not going to go through them all, of course. You can go through this and get one that's close to your skin, essentially, right? Like if you have bags under your eyes or you have forehead wrinkles or eye wrinkles, whatever you want, right? This is going to be a close match, but it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm going to scroll around and try to find one. Honestly, I think I went with 32 last time. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll do 32 this time and hopefully it works out all right. And finally, roughness right here. This is like, is your skin oily or not, right? So that's what that's for right there. Cool. I'm good with all that. Finally, let's get to the important stuff, and that's going to be the head. Now, this is where it gets kind of hard to visualize, and that's because there's no eyebrows or hair or anything, right? And it's a little weird. So that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to click conform head, and we're going to go conform right here, and then we're going to go from identity, okay? And that is what we created in the last screen right here in the identity. Now, we're going to go down to the bottom right here where it says meta identity, click this drop down, and yours will be listed right there. So here's mine. I'm going to simply click on it, and I'm going to uncheck all these. You don't want any of those. It will mess it up. And you're going to click conform, and you're going to see the head change. Now, look at that. Look at the blob it gave me of a head. I'm going to go ahead and say that's a little wrong. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to adjust it. But first, I'm going to put on hair and eyebrows because visually that just helps me figure things out. So I'm going to come down to here where it says hair, eyebrows, clothing, all that. Those are all going to be in here. Now, real quick, I'm going to pick ones I use. As you can see, there's a lot of hair options already in here. So likely you can get away with one of these hair options. In fact, this is the one I had on my other MetaHuman when it loads here in a second. So that's the exact hair, just another color. And I'm also going to go with, I'm not sure what eyebrows I had. It might have been these ones right here. I think it was those ones right there. And that's going to be it. I'm cool with both of those. I'm going to scroll down, give myself some eyelashes, scroll down some more. If you have facial hair, so I have this stubble going on. So we'll go short stubble there and then beard. We're going to go, there's somewhere in here, there's a short stubble beard situation right there. Okay. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is this is where you would get clothes or different hairs or anything like that. I said I wasn't covering that in this, and I'm really not. So the only option for clothing is this one default they give you. Obviously, you're going to want something different. Now, there's a lot of videos out there. You're welcome to go find one that shows you how to make clothing for free and apply them to your MetaHumans. They exist. I'm going to make one. It's just not going to be a part of this. If you don't want to do that and you're like, I'm not trying to do all that work, dude, you can actually just go to the Epic Games Fab Store and buy clothing and hairs and stuff for MetaHumans. I would just say make sure they have a groom option. They're called grooms, if you see right here, groom, and that they're compatible with MetaHumans. That allows you to bring them by just dragging them into your file like we did with our FBX. And then from there, you can click and drag them right here. And it'll be this right here. You can simply double click and put it on. It's that simple. But if it's not designed for a MetaHuman, it will not be that simple on you guys. All right. Just wanted to cover that real quick. Okay. So now that we have hair and everything, I'm going to go over to the details at the top. And this is where you change the color. So luckily for me, everything I have on here on my body is black hair. So I'm just going to come flying through all these real quick and turn them all down. We're going to come down here real quick. Short, messy hair. Yep. We want this one there. And these two are not in, they're not checked, so they're not working. I'm just going to go right past them. Let's go right here, messy hair. And then this is going to be your shirt color and stuff like that. Like primary, like if I wanted to put on the color of the shirt, maybe I want it to be gray or something like that. That's how you would go through and do that kind of stuff right here. Let's go ahead and change them both. Why not? There we go. That way it doesn't look too ridiculous. Cool. Now, let's go back to the head. And this is where the game starts happening. Okay, so this doesn't quite look like me, right? Like my cheeks are wide, but they're not that wide. I just made mistakes on the first part. And this is where we're going to have to start playing with it. So what I like to do is I like to try to be honest with myself. And that can be difficult when you're looking at your own face, right? So let's go ahead and bring this next to it real quick. Just like this. Okay, so right away, let's just say what's wrong. My cheeks aren't this wide, so I need to make those less wide. My nose is bigger than this nose. My eyes need to come up right here on the inside and down on the outside. and maybe a couple adjustments to the forehead. But overall, I think those are going to be the big ones we need to adjust. So in order to make those adjustments from here, you can actually do them in two ways. You can click transform and slide things all around as you would expect, or you can come to sculpt and get a lot more precise things, and you're just making adjustments, right? So let's go ahead and start again with this. We're going to look at the nose. So right away, I think my nose is a little bit bigger, more like that. Okay, I know these need to come up more like this. Maybe this one needs to come down a little bit. This one needs to come up a little bit as well, and this one needs to come down a little bit, and maybe just a little wider because I do have bigger eyes. This part needs to come up, but this part needs, overall, these need to come down, something like that maybe. Let's go ahead and look again. The bridge of my nose isn't this wide, so we'll narrow that part down just a little bit. That might be too much. Well, maybe not. Somewhere right around there. And then the front of my nose bends down. We'll take care of that in a second. I have a squared off jaw. This guy does not. So we're just going to pull this out a little bit like so. We're going to pull these in, something more like this. Pull this up. And I'm just going to keep playing with this, and I'll come back to you when it's done. All right. Okay, so I finished making adjustments on it for now. And I say for now because it might not still be right, but we can always come back here and we can do more. That's the beauty of it. Chances are it's your first time doing this. You're not going to get it right, to be honest with you. So you just got to play with it, but we are much closer than what we started with, if you remember that image looked like. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with this. Again, I actually think the skin color is a little off, but it's fine. We're not going to lose sleep over that. What we're going to do now is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to leave them exactly how it is, and I'm going to click on Assemble, and I'm going to come Create Full Rig. And I'm going to let this do its thing over here. And while it does that, I'm going to download 2K resolution textures as well. Once these finish downloading, it's going to go ahead and create a full rig. This is going to take a couple minutes, so I'll talk to you when it's finished. My rig just finished being created, so now what I need to do is assemble this. And if you don't see the assemble button, if you just click up here and then come back to assemble, it'll appear for you. Click assemble. Again, this takes a couple minutes, so I'll talk to you when it's finished. All right, so now that we are assembled, we are done inside this menu. I'm going to click save over here. I'm going to exit this, and I'm also going to go ahead and exit this as well. And now we're back right here, and you'll see you have a new folder that Unreal Engine automatically generated right here. And inside this folder, you have common and MetaHuman MH_mobs, which is what mine was created as. And right here is our blueprint, and this is our actual MetaHuman. Now, if you didn't plan on, making it yourself, just making a general MetaHuman, you're done. This is all you need. You're just going to set up the LiveLink, which I'll show you later in the video. There'll be a chapter about it. But for the rest of us, we're now going to continue on and move to the Photoshop phase. So what I need you guys to do is I need you to come over here, and I need you to click on face inside this folder. Let me back all the way out so you can find it. We're going to go Content, MetaHumans, MetaHuman, your name, so mine's Mobs, and from here it's going to be face, and we're going to go into baked, which is right here. And you have a bunch of different things in here. Specifically, what you're looking for is this one right here, T-Head BC. That's BC stands for base color. Right click that for me and go up to where it says Asset Actions and click Export under Asset Actions. It's going to ask you, where do you want to put this at? For me, I'm going to put it under the folder we've been using this whole time, 111. As you can see, there's something already in here that is a texture file. That right there is the one we made in Blender and exported at the beginning of this video. So I'm going to simply save this one next to that. Next, I'm going to go back into the content folder, and I want this right here. SK_MHI_mobs. And this is a skeletal mesh you can see right there at the bottom. I'm going to double click on this, and I'm going to open it up. And what I'm going to do is this first material right here under element 0, I'm going to double click on that, and it's going to pull me all the way into here. And finally, I'm going to click on this texture sample where you see a flattened face right here, right? And in the left side, it's going to show you this menu here. From here, I'm going to click the folder with a little glass there. We're going to click on that, and it's going to jump us all the way out to here. And what I was doing was I wanted to locate where this was because I want a copy of this as well. So I'm going to do this is I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to Asset Actions, and I'm going to click Export again, and I'm going to put it next to these two, and I'm simply going to click Save. From there, I'm going to save my entire project because, like I said, this is known to crash, and now we are ready to get into Photoshop. So I'm over here in Photoshop. As you can see, I've done this a few times before, but today we're doing everything from scratch to walk you through the process. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open the files we just made. So I'm going to click open here, right here. And this is going to be the base one I want this to be based off of because that is the head texture for our generated MetaHuman. So I'm going to click on that for me. It's going to load them just like that. Then I'm simply going to come over and I'm going to drag the other ones into this file. So for these right here, it's going to be a couple things. It's going to be this one right here, which is the one we made in Blender of ourselves when we made the head. There's that one right there. And if you notice, it already fits because we changed the texture size back in Blender at the beginning. And then finally, let's click OK on this. That's where I want it at. The last one I'm going to add, I should say, is going to be this one right here, which is kind of just like this weird flattened, blend shapes is actually what it is, skeletal thing. And the reason we're bringing this in is it's going to act as your trace. Like you're going to line up to this because this is where the head is, right? So what I want you to do with this one selected right here is I want you to change it from normal blend mode to overlay. And then you can kind of scroll on here and see how things are sitting on top of it if you click the right buttons. There we go. Okay, so now let me turn mine off and you can see this kind of like matches. Let me do this. It lines up perfectly because it is the MetaHuman. So our goal is to get this one to line up the best we can, right? And honestly, it's pretty good already. But let's just say it isn't. Like this eye is actually a little too far out, but I'm okay with that, I think. But let's say the eyebrows. The eyebrows should come down a little bit, so we're going to do that, and you can warp anything you want. So in order to make this work, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on my face, this layer right here, and I'm going to open up the warp tool. So I'm going to come up here to warp, and I'm going to do warp transform. And if you left control and right click, you can add these lines. I'm going to add one right where the eyes are. I'm going to add one in the eyebrows, and I'm going to add one up here on the forehead. Now what I can do is it gives you this white dot. If I click and pull on this, I will pull the eyebrows down. So they're closer to where they should be. So in my case, it's probably closer to right there. I'm actually okay with how the eyes are lined up on this. This can come in a little bit, but I'm going to leave it just because I think it'll be fine. The mouth looks pretty much in line of where I want it at. That doesn't look like it's out of line at all. So I'm pretty good there. I'm not sure I need any other adjustments. The nostrils are fine on this one. So I think we're good to go. And I hope yours is too. It should be that simple as long as you followed along correctly. Awesome. So we're not going to make any more warp adjustments, but what we need to do now is we need to clean this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on our face, the middle layer here. Let's just rename this so we don't run into any issues, shall we? Let's name this mauve. So that way when I can just say we're going to click on mauves, you guys know what it is, right? And we're going to rasterize that layer down real quick. And now we're going to click down here, this little square with the circle. That is going to give us a mask. We're going to click on that and we're going to hit the brush tool, which is B right here. And we're going to be on black and white. White adds, black subtracts. And simply we're going to come in here and we're going to get rid of anything that isn't skin. Okay, so it doesn't got to be crazy perfect, but you're going to see I'm just going to come around. I'm going to just keep going like this. I don't want the ears. My MetaHuman has ears. We're going to use his ears just like that, right? This down here is my shirt. That can all go away. Yep, let's just get rid of all that. Get rid of all this over here. All right, yep, missed a few spots down there. I don't know what these are. They just come in with it. We're going to get rid of both of those. Let's go ahead and get rid of all this. Come right here, get rid of that. All right, and we're just going to paint it off just like this. No big deal. And this right here is a little dark, so we would want a consistent color. Earlier when I said you don't want shadows, this is why. Now with that said, I obviously have shadows, so we're going to just try to make it work the best we can. Okay, cool. Now from here, I'm going to turn this layer off and I'm going to turn this layer on because these are the two we're going to try to get to match together. Now, I'm going to do a couple more things in here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use the MetaHuman's eye sockets, not our own. So I'm going to make this a little smaller and I'm just going to color this out just like this. No big deal here. Just like that. Yep, that'll work. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing right here. And just like that. Now, I've seen a lot of people say, get rid of your eyebrows. I actually like the way the eyebrows add. It makes them a little darker because I have dark eyebrows and the default eyebrows from Unreal aren't very dark. So I actually leave mine and I think it works out well. And we're also going to be using their nostrils as well, which are right underneath there. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit. And finally, we're going to clean up the middle of the mouth here, just like so. And that should be about it for us. Excellent. I get that edge right there. Cool. Now, let's get into clone tool. So obviously I have this hole in my chin because I didn't have a photo of that level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the clone tool right here and I'm going to come over, I'm going to zoom back in a little bit and I'm just going to kind of cheese it and then make it nicer. So every time you see this little aimer pop up, that means that's what I'm cloning. So I'm going to click right here and then I'm just going to simply start bringing that across. Oh, I didn't do it right. So we're going to bring that over. I'm not on the right thing, am I? No, I'm not. There we go. Before I don't run into this issue again, I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and I'm going to apply mask. So now it's one mask. Now I can click over here and I can start clicking it just like that in over here. And again, it's not going to look perfect, but I promise you, nobody's going to know but you and I. So let's just keep doing this. Clone in here. Let's make this one a little, make it a little bigger. There we go. Maybe right in there. Get a little darker right in there. And finally, the chin area, let's make that a little smaller because we do want this to be good because you will see that part from the other side there. Just like that. Maybe right in here, just like that. And something like that. I actually don't like that repetitiveness. Cool. And let's go over here and maybe right about there should be all right. Now, I know it's not perfect, but I don't think anyone's going to know but you or I, to be honest with you. Little light. I made that a little light, huh? There we go. Okay, cool. And that should be good enough for that. Now, we need to try to get these colors as close as we can without looking super fake, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually grab the mobs layer and I'm going to come up here to where it says image. And I'm going to do an adjustment. I'm going to do a color match with the bottom layer. Okay. So we're going to go color match right here. And I'm going to simply say where do its source is. It's going to be this file. And I'm going to make it layer 1 because that's the name of it right here. And it's going to say how much do you want it to match. I'm going to click, well, I want it to match only a little bit, right? This is none. This is all. So we're going to come in to about here-ish. You know, it's never going to be perfect, but that's kind of intentional because I don't want to lose who I am as well, right? So let's say 72%. Okay, just like that. Excellent. I'm cool with that. Now we're going to come down to this layer right here, which is the MetaHuman layer, this one right under here, right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to click on this circle right here and I'm going to go to curves. And with curves selected, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to hit hold Alt and you're going to get a new little icon when you mouse between the two, just like that. And I'm going to click, yep, that's what I want. And it's saying, hey, that's what I'm going to affect down there. And now I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to start changing this to try to get it as close as I can, right? And this is something you're going to kind of have to play with to get it where you want it. So, well, let me get this top one as well. Oh, probably right around this area. We're getting pretty close there, huh? No, let's bring it a little darker. I think this might be as good as we get. I'm not going to sit here and play with it all day. You're welcome to continue on, but I think that's going to be good enough for now. And we're going to go ahead and say, yep, let's move forward with this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to your file and I'm going to do export, quick export, and I'm going to replace the one we exported before, which is right here. And I want it to be the same name. That's on purpose. So I'm simply going to click save on that one. Yes, I'm sure I want to save it. Excellent. Now I'm going to go back in Unreal. This is our guy. And I want you to note something right now because it's going to matter later. If you notice, his face does not look the same here as it did inside the MetaHuman editor. And that is because MetaHuman editor uses a 120 millimeter lens or something like that. It's higher, I know that, versus the world, which is like a 30 millimeter lens. And we're going to end up at right around 70 to 50, whatever looks closest. And I'll show you how to do that eventually, right? So cool, we're back in here. So what we're going to do now is we need this guy's skin. So we're going to scroll up over here. We don't need any of this anymore. We're going to go back to the content, into MetaHumans here, MetaHuman mobs. We're going to go into face, under face. We're going to go into baked. And what is baked? This one right here. So replace that. All we're going to do is we're going to simply click and drag. This is the one we just made, and we're going to drag it right on top, just like that. And right here, successfully re-imported. As you can see, it says right there. And now if we click off this guy, you can see he has my scar, and that is my face. Now it's a little off, and that is going to be because of a few things. One, the blend shapes probably need to be adjusted more, but more so the camera itself. So let's see if we can't fix the camera next, and then we can see how well it works. In order to fix the camera, the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to have to set the camera up so it can be possessed, which means we're going to need our own game mode. So I need you to right click down here again. I need you to go to blueprint class, and you're going to click on right here, game mode base. So I'm going to name this GM underscore my game for game mode right there. Okay. Now, when you go inside this, if we double click, it'll open it up into the editor of this. And over here in the details panel, you're gonna have a bunch of things. And what I want you to do is see where it says default pawn. I need you to click none for this. That's all I really need you to do. Hit compile, click save, and go ahead and exit that. In fact, we can exit all of these right now. We don't need anyone. We're just back here. Okay. Now we need to make that our default game mode when we launch, because if I click play right now, we're gonna fly around like we're playing a video game, not controlling the camera we want. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna come over here. We're going to go to edit up here, and we're going to go to project settings, and under project settings, we're going to go back to maps and game mode. And at the top right here, it says game mode. We're going to click on ours. Mine's right here. GM underscore my game mode, but you can search it if you can't find it. We're going to click that, and now that'll be the default game mode. The next thing we need to do is we need to bring in a camera. In order to do that, you're going to come up to a little plus sign with the cube up here, click on that, go down to cinematic, and click on Cin Camera Actor. This will put it inside your level just like this, and I need you to move it so you can see your character through the lens here, just like I'm doing right now. Something right around here should be pretty close. Let's go back to 90 right there, and let's go up a little higher, and that should be pretty good right about there. Now, what we're going to do now is over here on the left side, you'll have different settings for things you can adjust. Go to the one that says focus setting, open it up, and pull this down till he is in focus, his face is. So mine's going to be right around there. And you can see it kind of jumping a little bit. That's because of the skin we put over it. Don't worry, that won't happen when it matters. It just happens right now. In addition to that, if you don't want your background to be so blurry, you can do this f-stop right here, and you can simply pull this up till it's not blurry, like mine just changed right there. Now, Now that we have the camera in here, we need to make it so when we click play, that is the thing we can control. It's actually pretty easy, but it is a blueprint, so bear with me. If you've ever been here before, it's not too intense, don't worry. You're gonna come up here to these three little dots, I'm not sure what to call it, and click the down arrow and open level blueprint. Under open level blueprint here, you're going to right click and you're gonna type in get player controller, and you're gonna go ahead and get player controller. Then you're gonna drag off the return value pin, and you're gonna get set view target with blend right there. Excellent. Now, the last thing I need you to do is I need you to go back to your world right here, click on the camera you just made and drag it in to that blueprint by simply coming up here and releasing right here. And now it's inside here. And I'm going to click this pin and drop it right here on new target view. Once these are connected, you're going to connect these pins right here. Begin play goes into set view, and that is it. Now click compile, save, and we come back here. If we click play, it'll now control the camera we just had. Now, there's something I want to show you with cameras. This MetaHuman is off. I need to go back into MetaHuman and adjust the actual face itself till it looks more like mine. But that may not be your issue. So I want to show you something with these cameras right now. So like I said earlier, the lens length can affect it, and MetaHuman uses a different lens length than in-game. So you need to kind of adjust this to the sweet spot where yours is going to be. Honestly, I've always found right around 50 to 70 is that sweet spot, but I'm going to show you what I mean when I go into this. So right now, it is at a focal length of 4 to 1,000, right? Like if I change this one, it doesn't matter. It's sitting like what, at 4? No, it wasn't sitting at 4. I don't know what that was sitting at, but let's just say it's 35 because I believe 35 is pretty close to the default for a video game right there, right? It's off, right? But see how wide my face is? Now look at the difference if I go up to 120, right? And let's zoom them out real quick here. We'll go ahead and we'll pull this back out to something like this, right? This is about where we were before. And now let's go ahead and adjust this so it's in focus again. And you can see this actually does look more like my face because we built it in a MetaHuman, which uses a more zoomed camera. Now, it's not quite right. It needs to be adjusted, and I'm gonna go in and make those adjustments right now. I'm not gonna film it. I'm just gonna show you how to go about doing that because it might take a minute, and that way this video isn't super long. It's already too long, right? So cool. This is where we're at. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. I'm actually going to change this down to 70 because I think 70 is going to be what I aim for. Typically, like I said, is where I end up as being is right around 70 anyway. So right around there should be good. Now we're going to go back in and change things right now. Let me hit stop on this so we're not still editing things inside there. In order to adjust our MetaHuman, we're going to go back into it right here. We'll double click to open it. It's going to take a second to load. Don't be shocked by that. That's completely normal. Okay, first off, good morning. It's actually the next day. It was pretty late. It was like 1 a.m. when I was making that video. So I just got some sleep and I decided to wake up this morning fresh and go ahead and edit this guy. I went through and I changed like his sculpting. You know, I moved the base of his face around. I actually ended up changing his color as well. And then once you change his color, you have to go back into Photoshop. So I kind of just redid that whole portion. But again, I didn't use any techniques that I didn't already teach you. So I'm not going to cover it in this video. I just want to tell you what I did. And the biggest change would have been the eyes. I could go through and do it one more time to make them even closer. But I'm glad there was a mistake because it shows you that although I've done this, it's not going to be perfect every time, so don't get frustrated, all right? So finally, I'm going to leave him right where he is, and I wanted to show you guys the difference in the lenses because this angle shows it really well. In game, you can see what he looks like right here, not like me at all. In this one right here, his face structure is much closer. The eyes are a little narrow still, and they should be adjusted. Like if I take my glasses off, it's not quite wide enough, but again, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to keep going forward for now, and we're going to leave it as is. All right, so good. You have your meta character. Hopefully he looks like you. From here, the last thing we need to do is we need to give him a live link. So in order to do that, it's actually pretty easy. It's that tab we closed earlier. What I want you to do is I want you to go up here to window, and under window, I want you to come down to virtual production and click live link right here. Now I'm going to have to disable my camera for this so I can show you guys real quick. Let me come over to my full cam and I'm going to have to deactivate it just like that. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and exit this because I don't need that one. And I'm going to go add source and we're going to click MetaHuman video right here. Okay. And when you click on that, it's going to say, hey, this is your PC. I'm like, yes, it is. What do you want to use? I actually want to use my USB video. That is the name of my camera right there. What FPS you want right here. I actually do want 60. I don't care if it's at 1920. That doesn't matter for me. And I'm going to name this webcam because that's what it is. And I'm simply going to click connect, and you'll see right here, you'll get a new bar right here. If you click on it, this is the green check you're looking for, status screen. And if you want to see yourself, you can simply click up here and hello, there I am. I know it's a little weird angle, and this will show you the little blue trackers. Hopefully you guys can see them okay. There's nothing too crazy there. And then you're simply going to click calibrate or capture neutrals. And then down here, if you ever like have an issue, you can come up here and capture neutrals again and stuff like that. Okay. And then from there, you're actually almost done. So now what I want you to do is come back to this page right here, click on your MetaHuman himself, and you'll see right here, LiveLink, it's in the details. And then you're going to click on this drop down webcam. So when we just made it, and check use LiveLink. And just like that, it's alive. That's the whole process, guys. It's pretty cool. Now, as you can see, it doesn't really look like me, but if I click play, now see the difference. You can really see the difference in the camera angle that it makes. And that's going to be the whole process for this video. You now have an active MetaHuman with your face. It's pretty cool. It even has my scar. Like I said, the eyes need to be adjusted, but overall, it looks pretty good if you ask me. So, yeah, it'll match your face. It'll move around. It'll do whatever you want it to do. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and disable mine real quick so I can talk to you guys like normal again. Let's go back in here. Let's go like this, and I'm going to hit delete on that real quick. I'm going to reactivate my camera real quick. Okay. Now, that's pretty much going to be it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you guys how to make it. Now, just real quick, if you rocked this whole video, I want to tell you, the next video is going to be how to do custom hair and how to do probably clothing, because people are going to want both of those things. Assuming this video does well enough, I'll make a whole series of this. I kind of want to do it anyways, because I want to do a short form challenge. What I wanted to tell you guys was, how did I get it in the video game? People are going to wonder that. Now, I tried to run MetaHuman as a build. You can do builds right here. If you want to play with it a little bit, you're welcome to. You just go you go package build. There it is. Or package project, I'm sorry. I tried to package it out, run it on this computer, then also run a video game, and it was too intense. And I have a pretty good computer. So what I ended up doing was I actually used a capture card and put it on my laptop and captured it into my computer in order to do that and take the load off. Not everyone has that option. There are other options. You can use a cell phone, which actually has better tracking through your Wi-Fi. There's also NDAs and other things like that. All that I will cover in a different video. But today, I just wanted to get this done. So if you guys made it through and it showed you what you want, thank you. Let me know below. Honestly, like, comment, subscribe. It does help me out. But more so, I've seen a lot of videos on this. I didn't feel they were very clear. So I hope this one was more clear for you. Again, if you don't get it right, go ahead and go back and do it again. That's what I just did. I went back in Photoshop, I went back in sculpting, and I just redid both those things until it got closer. And I could do it again to make it even closer, but I'm content with where it is for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.